Hello and welcome back to the Life as a Fitness Instructor podcast. My name is Lorna Marie and I am a fitness presenter, creator of Yogascape and an award-winning fitness instructor. And today I want to talk to you about hosting your own retreat. So maybe it's something that you've thought about because it's always been a dream in the pipeline for you, and it definitely was for me. I've just come back from Amorgos in Greece for the second year running, and it was always a dream of mine to run and host a retreat. And the year that I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, I've actually done it. It's like a pinch me moment. But maybe you've thought of it as like an income stream, or maybe it's something that you're just interested in knowing more about. So I thought I'd just do a little episode of my experience and kind of my take on how to do a fitness retreat. I am by no means a massive expert, but I have hosted a few retreats now, so I just want to share my experience and just dive into a topic that's quite close to my heart, creating the ultimate retreat. Okay, so maybe you're wanting to do this to, like I said, as an income stream or something you've always dreamt of doing, to grow professionally or just really build your community, or maybe even like a way of charging your own batteries. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But hosting a retreat can be a real experience. Now I'm going to break this into little sections for you. So talking about planning it, designing what goes into it, marketing it, then the logistics and actually executing it, and then post-retreat, what you might want to consider. So firstly, you need to get a sheet of paper out and you need to be thinking about planning a retreat. It's really important to identify what your goals are. So what do you want your participants to take away from this? Is it just a way of relaxation? Is it meeting other people? Is it a new opportunity? Is it to go abroad? What's your purpose? What do you want your participants to get from this? Or what do you want to get from it? What have you always wanted to do? Do you want to do a day retreat? Do you want to do half an afternoon? Do you want to do an afternoon or a morning? Do you want to take people abroad? And how far do you want to go and for how long? So think about what you want to get out of it and what you want your participants to get out of it. So for example, for me, it was very much, I really wanted my participants to come along and have almost a sense of escape. So escape from their overwhelm and busy lives and be taken completely out of their current situation. So for me, going abroad was great because that's a whole week where people can just relax and chill and be really far removed from their day-to-day stressful lives. And we absolutely did that. And all the things that came alongside it, like, was a real community feel, like a proper family feel. People made friends and really close friends. So friendships were formed. Everyone relaxed, tried new classes, got outside their comfort zone in so many ways. So it brought actually a lot more. People gained new skills. They relaxed. They networked. They made friends. So much more. So think about that. And then you need to choose the right location for you. So what do you need? Do you need sunshine? Do you need some equipment? Do you need it to be accessible? Think about the amenities. What else do you want to provide alongside it? Do you want there to be a swimming pool? Do you want everyone to have an ensuite or their own space? Or do you want to get a villa? Or are you doing an afternoon? So do you want to hire out a local village hall, for example? What do you need? Where do you want to go? And think about places that are easy to get to, or if, like me, you were just trying to take everyone far away from their current lives, that might not be as much of a factor, but then you might need to factor in some travel days, for example. So once you've nailed down kind of what you want to do, what you want your participants to get out of it, it's time to think about the date. The timing can be really crucial. So be mindful of your own schedule and also be mindful of peak seasons. So like if you're going to go in the summer holidays, for example, a lot of people might be away with their kids and flights might be more expensive then. And, you know, if you want to do something low key and you're going to keep it local, think about when your clients will be free. If your clients are busy mums, when's a good time to catch them in their week? And then you don't want to forget about budgeting. So I outline all the potential costs. So you've got to think about the location. Are there any costs in terms of flights, ferries, buses, taxis? If you're going somewhere like we did, we needed to stay somewhere overnight before we actually went to the island. Think about potential costs, the venue, the hotel, the food, the materials, extra costs for you. What are you gonna deliver on alongside it? So take all of that into consideration. How much do you want to charge? What do you want to get out of it? What do you want your profit to be? Or are you bothered about that? Is it just more for the experience of doing it and you want to break even? What is it for you? And then you know how to price it as well. Okay, so the planning is underway. Let's move on to actually designing the retreat experience. You want to start with a bit of a structure, so a well thought out schedule, including a mixture of workshops, fitness classes, and also plenty of downtime for relaxation. Because the worst thing is, and I've been to retreats like this, is where everything is back to back and you just feel like you're meant to be there relaxing and you're actually running from one thing to the next. So think about how you're going to schedule that in. Always leave a bit of a buffer and don't over plan as well. Think about what is realistic for you and for your energy and how you can best deliver to. And then when it comes to what you actually do, like the content wise, think about what's going to resonate with your audience. So I actually did a poll to my audience to find out what classes they wanted to do and spoke with them as well. So you might want to consider different workshops. So, for example, we had a whole theme around Yogascape. So there was some mobility, stretching, yoga, some more core work in there and some balance. And I based the whole retreat doing workshops and classes around that. So around a Yogascape class. And then we had some real restorative yoga and some meditation too. So everything that you would expect to find in a Yogascape class, but just kind of really expanding on everything. And we did technique workshops as well. But you might want to do things like nutrition or looking at new fitness trends or even business skills, or, if you're doing it for instructors, for example, or bring in industry experts or guest speakers to offer some fresh insights. So a retreat I'm doing soon, it's based on well-being, again, like a bit of an escape, but more of a local one just for a day. And we're getting a skin specialist to come in and talk about how to look after your skin. So something a little bit different. And I think just providing enough downtime, I know I said this already, but it really helps participants connect with each other. You'll have a lot of like-minded people coming on a retreat who will want to, yes, have some time away and have that alone time in that space, that mental headspace, but also connect on a bit of a deeper level and help them unwind just by talking to other people who are in a similar situation, who get it. Next up is marketing. So tackling the marketing. Start with who you're trying to target, so your audience, who you want to attract. And then you can reach out to potential attendees through your classes, even just putting the feelers out there through social media, maybe just doing a little Facebook post. Definitely get the feelers out there first. See if there is an interest for what you want to offer before you just start trying to sell tickets and booking a venue. Just get the feelers out there and maybe even create like a waiting list. So engaging content is crucial for marketing it. But you might be lucky enough that you get enough feelers out there. Say you want to run a day retreat, 15 people. You tell all your participants in all your classes or online or your PT clients, whoever, and you might fill it up immediately just by creating a waiting list and then telling everyone and filling it up that way. But if not, you might want to start thinking about pushing it on social media, sharing behind scenes of how you're planning it, some testimonials from past attendees. Maybe even if you've not done a retreat before, maybe just past attendees to like your yoga or Pilates classes. A short video about what everyone can expect. And if you are going to get expert speakers in or other speakers, collaborating with them and trying to broaden your reach and see if they've got anyone who wants to come along as well. Logistics. So think about how you're going to make this a smooth experience. Walk through it yourself in your head. some places offer everything for you. So they'll sort out the equipment in the room that you need, they'll sort out the meals, they'll help you sort of plan your week. And other times you will just be hiring a venue yourself. If you've got catering, you might need to get an external catering company, accommodation. Just think about what you really need. And then in plenty of time, getting health forms from everybody, the dietary requirements from everyone, telling everyone what they need to bring, just making sure that everyone feels really comfortable, and keep communicating with everybody before the actual event. And let's be real, challenges can arise, whether it's unexpected weather or last minute changes. Just be prepared. Be prepared to think on your feet, but also control the controllables. So one example of this is we were due to get the ferry over to Amorgos. That is the only way. No, it was a private boat over to Amorgos, because the ferry from Santorini wasn't running. And what actually happened was the Beaufort, this is a new word I didn't even know about, which is something to do with like the wind and the waves. The scale was so high that they wouldn't come and collect us. So we had to very quickly, within 24 hours, think of a solution to get all of our participants over to the Amorgos island. And it is a case of, dealing with the cards that you're given, right? And just controlling the controllables. But be prepared to have some hiccups, whatever that is going to be, and just deal with it in the best way possible. And one thing that we did really well, if I say so myself, is we did put on like a great thing. We got a ferry over to a different island. We had a trip. We had dinner all together. And the only downside was getting like a late ferry then over to Amorgos. But everyone was really happy. They got an extra trip in there. They got a nice meal and had a bit of a giggle. But one thing we did really well was just communicated at every step and told everyone exactly where we were at, and we were sorting it. And we were really proactive, telling everyone, you're going to hear from us in the next half hour. We've got this solution. And just really, really telling everybody where you're at. Communication is key. Think about how you would want to be treated if you were on the other side too. And then it's just a case of enjoying it. Do it, enjoy it. And also be reflecting on if it's something that you would want to do again. It can be a lot of work. Like, it is a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of work running, but it's also a fantastic experience, a really amazing experience. But it can take a lot out of you too. Even if you're hosting like a yoga or relaxing retreat, you've got to think that you need to be on the ball at all times. And when we were in Amorgos, I absolutely loved it. Like, I wouldn't change it. It was such a fantastic experience. But we were also running our online squad at the same time. So when you come back to the room at night, it's late nights because you're trying to catch up with that at the same time. So making sure that if you can possibly get the procedures in place so that everything runs smoothly outside of that, if you have other things going on at home. So maybe you get cover for your classes, or someone steps in for you at work, or you do what we did and you just you have a late night and you keep on top of it, but accept that that's what it's going to be. And that's exactly what we did. We accepted this is how it's going to be, and we showed up and gave everyone our best, and we really enjoyed the experience. But that's not to say that you don't need some downtime the other side. So what we did is we then had a afternoon, evening in Santorini just to ourselves to kind of reflect, think about the week, have a bit of a downtime, bit of reset, and then come back. So just bear all of that in mind. And once the retreat is over, you can just think of all the amazing experiences that you had. Get all the photos together, have a little look. You can make some little videos. And then think about sending a post-retreat follow-up if you want to do it again, because gathering feedback is really important for improvement. So consider sending out feedback forms just to understand what participants really enjoyed and how you could enhance it for future. And don't let those connections fade as well. Just create opportunities to stay in touch, whether that be through social media or newsletters or a community afterwards. So for example, ours is our online squad. And I think it was only maybe 3-4 people who weren't part of the squad, But we've invited everybody to our 5-year party as well, so there's still opportunity to stay in touch. So anyway, I hope that has given you some food for thought and some ideas. But hosting a retreat can be a really, really rewarding experience for your participants, of course, but also for you. Like from the planning and the designing to the marketing to doing the retreat, following up, it creates a really, really meaningful event. So if you're going to host your own retreat, I would love to hear your ideas and if this podcast episode has inspired you in any way. And if it has, don't forget to subscribe and share this on your socials for anyone who might be interested as well. And if you are looking at becoming a Yogascape instructor and doing something similar to what I did in doing not just Yogascape on the retreat, but basing a retreat around it, which I can absolutely help you with, please get in touch. Head to yogascape.co.uk and click Become an Instructor. And I'd love to hear from you soon. And if you enjoyed that episode, please like, subscribe and share us on your socials at Yogascape Official or at Lorna Marie Fitness Official. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope this has been a source of inspiration for you.